Hey everybody, this is Jim from Jim's Wholiest of Coleus. I hope everybody's doing well. These are really trying times, but we're gonna get through it. It's very unusual. All through the course of history, I'm a big history fan, but all through the course of history, there's been plagues and outbreaks and so forth. But we're living in the 21st century. We have social media, we have news sources everywhere, websites and so forth. So it appears, and I'm not trying to take away the seriousness of this, but it just makes it seem so much more daunting, and it brings it all home to each and every one of us. So best advice I can tell you is go by, if you're in the United States, go by the presidential COVID plan. Go by your local news agencies and your local municipal government agencies and follow those directions, and we're gonna all get through it. Stay away from they say don't sit in front of the news all day long and so forth, because you get yourself all worked up and so forth. And just be careful. I check the news. I have one particular channel I watch, and I always watch the presidential update that he does on the task force. But try to stay away from these hit and run internet news editorials. There are so many out there on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. When I'm going through my channel, I see so much nonsense. Headlines that look disastrous, that they're meant to grab your attention. And I get people forwarding me stuff that's just so ridiculous or whatever. I just pay no mind. So that's my best advice to you, is don't be drawn in by that. The numbers are going to increase. We're here in the United States. I'm in New Jersey. I'm right in the hot zone. The numbers are going to increase because we're testing. There's lots of testing going on, so obviously they're going to increase. It doesn't mean necessarily that it's getting worse and worse and worse. Yes, but the numbers are going to increase because the test results are coming in, so they need to get that baseline. So keep that in mind. Stay busy. We're gonna put Newton on the channel today. He always interrupts me, so I might as well give him some camera time. But we're gonna do some potting now. I'm gonna pot a few, and it's gonna be a short video compared to the other ones that I've done in the past. But don't you worry, there's gonna be plenty more of where this comes from, more pots, different pots and so forth. But I'm gonna pot a few and just give you an idea of what I'm thinking of. And I just cleaned out the greenhouse outdoors. I'm getting it all ready to go, because I'm hoping within another month or so that I can move everything into the greenhouse, and that's when the magic happens, when we get outside. And again, look forward to everybody joining my channel. I really appreciate everybody, my friends out there. Remember, we got hardening coming up, where it's time to slowly introduce your plants to the outdoors. So we'll be making that shortly. Meantime, just follow along, and we'll get through this. And without ado, let's check. We'll do some potting right now. Okay? Thanks everybody, and stay safe. And thank you for watching Jim's Wholiest of Coleus. Bye everybody. Okay, so here's one of the planters. Now, if you look through if you're familiar with my videos, you know these are the two that I use on my deck, and I make fabulous, gigantic Coleus arrangements every year. And I switch them around, but I always keep a couple of Kongs in there because they grow like really well. So now this one here is I'm gonna go pick up some a local grown organic potting soil. It's called Ocean Grow. I'm going to put that in here and mix it up a little bit, because these really need, the soil in it is a few years old, so I like to put in some fresh stuff. So this one here, I just put in some Miracle Grow, and it's all ready to go. Now, I'm not going to put any Coleus in here yet. Still going to wait till until the nights are over, over 50, sustained 60-degree nights, upper 50s, 60s, because anything lower than that, your Coleus won't last. And of course I have to harden my Coleus first. So okay, so let's go on and I'll show you the pots. Okay, so as I mentioned, we're gonna do. I'm just gonna do a few pots. Again, I'm gonna bring these indoors, inside, so I don't have really a lot of room, but I did want to get a few going. And it's time because these are really start to even more room. So I just picked out a couple of different colors. Again, these are these scalloped pots, little colored scallop pots. I really like them. So I just kind of really got some colors, and I picked out a few Coleus from my trays that I thought would look really nice. These are beautiful. I remember these from last year, from the mother tree, the mother Coleus, and it really was beautiful Coleus. And of course the Kongs never do me wrong. So but here's a perfect idea. It has a nice red, perfect example. There's a nice red. As I had mentioned in my other video, just pop these, pop them out gently, just work. These are the soft 3-inch nursery pots, and I reuse them every year. That's the beauty of it. I reuse them every year. And then there's some that I do sell. When I have my flea market, there's singles that I do sell, but I get a lot of them. So, but here, basically, that's it. You're going to dig out a center here. Dig out. I empty a lot of the center out. Make a gully. There you go. Really is show. And here we go. Like once we pop that out of the pot, you can see a nice root structure. It's nice and solid. And let's put it down in the center. There's no real right side. As again I mentioned from my Bob Ross experience, there's really no right or wrong in nature. So it really, you know, you can change the angle, I guess, or whatever you want. But remember, these are going to move. But anyway, so now we're going to just take our soil and we're going to work it around. Work it all around. Gently fill it in. Gentle. Not packing. I'm not really pressing it down deep, but you don't really want the soil way up top. This is a little high. Maybe I'll press it down a little bit more, but you don't want it to the very, very top, because you know when you water it, you don't want it spilling all over the place. But make a little moat. If you ever see a lot of garden places or whatever, they make this, or farms and so forth, they make like a little moat. It really shows up in the camera, but make yourself a little moat there, a little ball. So you can see it's a nice little, you know. See if we can get some different light here. You know, so and you could do this really the same. I have this other little one I'm going to do. I think I'll get another. I'm going to get another plant from indoors inside. But here's a couple. I tried to get some of the larger ones now. Again, this one looks very leggy. And you know, yesterday I went back. Now, if you've been following me, you know my last video I did pruning. And as you can see, we're starting to get some growth coming in. You see that growth coming in there? So this is sort of a leggy Coleus. And some of them are. Some are more leggy than others. And there's other ones that grow more. They're shorter. So just go with what you have. If you have a really stubborn, leggy Coleus, do like what I did with this one here. Just keep trimming the very top. You see that growth coming in there? And you got that growth coming in. And if it starts to lean over like this one here, then you can cut these 2 leaves up top. Or like these here. This is kind of leaning over. The weight of these leaves, kind of, because it is on the leggy side, it's starting to lean it over. So, you know, this is stubborn. but I do see some growth coming in, so I'm going to cut these top leaves. So just keep at that. If you have a leggier Coleus and it's stubborn and you're not getting that growth, but you see there, as my last video, all that pruning that I did with my Coleus, that's what motivated this Coleus. My glass table is actually messing with the focus, but that is going to motivate and stimulate that growth. And to further stimulate it, you can cut these leaves up top too. It's difficult to do. I know you have these beautiful, you want to enjoy your Coleus, but it's early yet. And what you do now, will make the difference later on. Because again, it's still, if you're in the States, we're still in early spring. We got lots of time. And once the real hot weather arrives, these are going to just explode. So let's get them going first, and then we'll definitely cash in on the fruits of our labor of pruning these. So, all right, so keep pruning your Coleus. Make up a few pots. If you have them at this size, they're a nice size like this, make yourself up a few pots. And once you get them out of these little nursery pots into bigger pots, now's the time to start with your fertilizer. So if you haven't gotten it already, even if you have Miracle Grow with the fertilizer built in, I suggest either a liquid fertilizer, regular straight plant food. Doesn't have to be, don't get something for azaleas, don't get a Wholiest, a Smiracid or anything like these. Are not acid loving plants. Just get regular Miracle Grow. If you have the green plant food is fine. I like time release pellets. It's just a lot easier. You shake them in, and it just feeds every time you water. So, but definitely now's a good time because you're growing now. We're past the germination stage. We're growing. We got growth coming in. We want to feed our plants. So definitely start to fertilize every couple of weeks. Don't overdo it. Every couple of weeks. So pruning, feeding, getting them into pots, and again, we'll be doing hardening next. When even now, like today, it's pretty mild. It's a little windy. It's pretty mild here in New Jersey. You can put your trays out as long as it's not really windy. You don't want to put them out if it's very, very windy, because it does, it could do some damage. But as far as hardening, if you're in an area of the country now that's a little warmer than New Jersey, you can look up my videos. I do have plenty on hardening. It's a very easy concept. Definitely start hardening your Coleus as long as they're around this size. You don't want to harden them when they're too young. Okay, so again, in closing, I hope everybody stays safe. Follow your local government guidelines, and stick to a reputable news source. Now, I know people may argue what that is, but really what I mean is stay off. I delete, and people send me links to videos and stuff. Some of them are funny, but that's, we got to keep our sense of humor. I understand, but some people send me links to these they're either left-wing or right-wing, whatever. They have an agenda, websites, Snopes, etc. I stay away from them or they have some kind of a conspiracy agenda. China did this on purpose, or whoever did this on purpose, or the government covered this up. I stay away from that. We don't need that extra stress. So stay away from those. This is just my advice, my opinion, how I choose to do it. Stick with, again, with me, I stay with the president's task force meetings that they have every day around 6 p.m. Eastern. And I just check in on my regular news channel that I watch at least, a couple times a day, and that's it. I don't sit in front of the news all day long. I try to enjoy myself. So find things to do. If you're new to my channel, take a look at my videos. You could start your Coleus now. You could seed your Coleus. If you didn't start Coleus yet and you're like, oh, I'm too late, no, you can absolutely start growing Coleus now. So take a look at my videos. If you can't find a video, you want to start your Coleus, shoot me a message and I'll send you the actual link, or maybe I'll try to post the link right here on this video here. But you could definitely start your Coleus. So okay, all right, till another week or so, we'll shoot another video once our next level, next stage, and I hope everybody stays well, and I hope your Coleus are doing well if you're following along. So okay, until then, take care and stay safe. This is Jim from Jim's Wholiest of Coleus.